Ready to go to the draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sir?
Do you know it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
We could go do our shows from there and maybe make a pilgrimage to the Foot Locker. Where he used to work at, right?
Yeah, we're definitely going
Now
to the
we're
Foot Locker.
talking.
I mean, we're going to get to meet the entire Jefferson family and see his whole history because he's so open with things. You know? We're going to get to know the whole situation.
Maybe your mom will tell us how old you are.
Yeah. We can get
Probably not.
we can get the above the fold news. Okay, from Altoona.
There's
Can you imagine?
a lot of miles between the two.
It'll be the first ever booze at a draft when the Baltimore Ravens go on the clock. Mm-hmm. It'll be the first ever, I imagine, an absolute, total, complete, hot fire mess when the Browns go on the clock in Pittsburgh, PA.
Exactly.
I mean, in a way that we've never, ever witnessed.
For sure.
Because that didn't happen in Radio City Music Hall. It didn't happen in Philadelphia. It didn't happen in Chicago.
I don't know who's going to get more booze. I think.
I think Browns, right? Well,
I think it's the Ravens, to be honest.
You think so? Steeler fans are.
Because the Steelers have pretty much owned the Browns the last few years.
Big Ben owned the Browns.
You know what I mean?
I get it, but
been that tight. But the Ravens,
dude,
Steelers, that's.
Do you remember? I don't know if it's the revert when Joe Thomas had his jacket put on by Jerome Bettis, and people were like, "What's up with that?" But that was in Ohio. You think Steeler fans just don't even pay attention to the Browns and they just want to get all over the Ravens?
I think.
Okay, you think
Steeler
so?
Fans,
okay,
because the Browns never really posed much of a threat to
They
the Steelers
haven't been
for
in
years.
a long time.
But the Ravens now, that's some. Those games are hard hitting. They're nasty.
That's in 2026. Next year's draft is in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Correct.
So we're coming to Pittsburgh in 2026 for the draft. That'll be exciting. And maybe at that point in time, there'll be a new banner or trophy in the case courtesy of Justin Fields. Never know. They're not, or Justin Fields might not even be there anymore because he gets acquired. He gets acquired by the Steelers for draft consideration in next year's draft, the one in Green Bay. It wasn't even for this past year's draft.
Or maybe Russ leads him to the title.
And they don't even pick up his fifth-year option.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, we have not heard from him since this trade went down. And he said yesterday when he spoke, after we went off the air yesterday, that he asked for this location. He asked for this location. He wanted to go here.
I wonder why that is.
And the door opened up for that post Russ's signing when he heard that Kenny Pickett was no longer there. Yep. This is what he had to say on that front.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Pose. He would communicate it to him, through my agent, and I told him where I wanted to be, and this was the place I wanted to be. So, he honored that, and I appreciate him for that, and glad he was able to put me in the spot where I wanted to be at.
Poles, being the general manager of the Bears, gave a shout out to him for sending him where he wanted to go. That when Russ signed, he thought, well, that's the way that one went, and then he heard Pickett was gone, and he's like, that's where I want to go. And your answer to that might be, well, why would he do that after Russ just went there? Because Pickett left, clearly miffed about Russ's appearance there. Does that not indicate to you that they told Russ it's his gig? Well, even if that's the case, Justin Fields says he intends to compete for it.
To be honest, I'm taking it day by day. I'm definitely, competing. I think, Russ knows that. We're competing against each other every day. Him being out there for me, that, helps me getting better. Us pushing each other. So, I definitely don't have the mindset of, me just, sitting all year. So, I'm coming in every day, giving it all I got, and, pushing him to be his best, and he's, pushing me to be my best each and every day. So, appreciate that.
Over under on the number of days into training camp, Mike Tomlin will stare down somebody who asks him for an update on the quarterback competition race. For Tomlin to essentially begin to chafe at the daily requests for an update from the media.
First day. I'm looking.
No, it won't be first day. Come on now. Let's
I don't know.
Tomlin knows what time it is. Tomlin knows what time it is and what's happening, what's going to be asked of him. And I think you'll get a lot of, I appreciate the questions type answers.
You think after the first preseason
Yeah,
game?
I think it's going to be, if I had to guess, it'll be after preseason game 2.
Well, because Russ probably won't play one.
Well, no, they're going to have to play one. There's only 3 of these, sir.
Doesn't have to. I mean,
Well, they have to. Yeah. There's only 3 of these.
I'm looking forward to the Steelers beat writers posting how the quarterbacks are doing in practice. Russ was 11 of 13 with a touchdown.
How many footballs have hit the ground?
Yeah, Fields was 10 of 14, had an interception in the day 2.
Well, dude, these
Like,
are
I'm
all
looking forward
metrics.
to
These
that.
are all metrics. Because I'll tell you this too, guys. If Russ wins this battle, there's got to be a Justin Fields package. There has to be. Don't you think?
Like the Tebow package?
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't he? Is truly one of the most lethal
Russell Wilson,
packages
Russell Wilson
that
didn't
are
sign
out there.
with Pittsburgh to have a package where he comes
I know
off the
he
field.
didn't, but it's too.
That's
but,
not up there,
But
though.
again, this is not like something. Again, when this whole thing came out, where Russ is going to get the first team snaps, and Kenny Pickett's, who did, he didn't address this when he showed up in Philadelphia, and Pickett was basically saying, "I'm a hostage now. I'm no longer a volunteer," and they said, "We will volunteer to send you across the state." That we were all saying how remarkable this was, that Russ was getting the treatment of a veteran quarterback that had been with an organization for 10 years, like not 10 days, 10 hours. So I think everything is on the table here.
Remember, this is the franchise that bought the Slash, Cordell Stewart. So, of course,
No, I
you're
understand.
gonna use
So
Justin.
there is some Rooney family DNA in that sort of concept. But when I say lethal, I mean, and I know folks might be like, well, how is he lethal? Because they traded him to Pittsburgh for a bag of footballs, essentially. It's because he, with the ball in his hands, after you've been potentially tenderized by Najee and have some weapons on the outside that we're assuming are going to be much better than before. I don't know, man. Him coming downhill at you
Then why?
and then stopping and throwing to one of them, then why not start him?
Why isn't he the number one?
I
then?
don't know. But
Black and gold. Here we go.
I think that this is going to be part of the mix, don't you? You think it's just going to be Russ and he'll just be standing there with an earbud in his ear with a 1,000-yard rushing season behind him?
Or is it-
And they might be points challenged, and he's just going to stand there in an Arthur Smith system where Ryan Tannehill was terrific. Really? Okay. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
All
know
I'm
why
just
Mike
saying-
Tomlin would want to take this on.
So it's like day 12, day 15
because he wants
of.
to give himself the best possible chance
Yeah.
to win football games.
if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0.
I don't know that
I don't
anymore,
know.
sir.
I don't
High
think
on my
that's the
damn
case
agenda.
anymore.
I don't know if you could say that anymore in the NFL at all. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.